burning my way through like a ball of fire. It's Showkase and no case. It's astronomical, bringing you the phenomenal. But center stage, just a showcase with a K. Taking your talent to the world, it's time now for center stage. The spotlight's on you, so do what you do. This is Showkase, and we ain't got time to waste. Turning dreams into reality, from rags to riches. I was down bad in the trenches, had to get off the benches. Took a 40 and made a flip, I had to find me a way. But I needed a better band, so I took to the stage. Can't take that minimum wage of getting locked in a cage. So I got my bars up, put the pen to the page. If I can, then you can. So put the pedal to the metal. But right now, it's time to settle into the showcase. Showcase.
Hi, how are you?
How are yourself?
Good.
All right. So now that we have you here with us.
Yes. Yes.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Showcase. We have a wonderful young lady by the name of Miss Brown. She's going to share her story with us. Traveling around the world and things of that nature.
Yes.
So Miss Brown, introduce yourself.
Okay, sure. Oh, hold on. Let me put this on just in case I might catch something.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sidoni Brown. Nice to meet you, everyone out there. Mwah!
Yes, Mr. Donny. So let us know a little about yourself and your worldly travels.
Of course. Well, I was born and raised in Fresno, California. So I am fifth out of 6 children in my family, and
Okay.
I'm the Jan Brady. So I was the one that always asked me, well, what did you do in the Navy? Well, I would send electronic messages to different bases. And electronic messages, they would ask. I said, yeah, emails. They were like, what's an email? This is 1992. So it took a while for America to catch on, but overall, I had a great experience. Met a lot of cool people, dated a lot of Japanese guys, ate a lot of Japanese food, had the time of my life. After that, I went to San Francisco State and majored in international relations, and I've done pretty much good ever since. But I have my ups and downs, and I found out that being an actress is my forte. I really, really like to entertain people.
Okay. Well, your personality shows that.
No, thank you. Oh,
So, while in Japan, tell about the time of your life, probably the only person with Afro.
Yes, I'm probably the only one with a big afro and plus size. I'm a 44 double D here. So it's very hard to find clothes in Japan. So eventually I had to suck it up and got a job on the base and because I wanted to buy American size clothes. There wasn't like catalogs or internet back then. So I got a job on the base and helped out a lot of service members adjust to living in Japan. It's quite different because, a lot of people don't speak English. So I was there helping as much as I could.
Okay, great. How did you spend in Japan?
A total of 11 years, including my service time too.
Okay, so how was the adjustment for you?
I'm sorry?
The adjustment period.
Oh, okay. Well, when I got back to the States, I had a hard time because technology was not there. In Japan, they're so advanced. I mean, they will blow your guys' heads off. It is so advanced. For example, when you go into apartment buildings, they have eye technology, retina, that reads your eyes. That pops open the doors, pops open the lights, TV, everything.
Okay.
And when I came back, GPS was not readily available, but now it is. It's kind of the norm. But it was like that 20 years ago in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yes. So again, the technology is it's up here. I mean, it's like 110%. Those engineers work their ass off to be competitive.
Okay. So now you're back in the States and you're out of the service. You're trying to figure out
Well, after that, I went to school, went to college, got a couple of degrees under my belt. I got a master's degree, and I was a park ranger for about 10 years. I went to all the national parks. Being a park ranger, you have to tell a story. And that's part of my love of acting, telling a story about the park, historical significance. For example, I worked at the Hoover Dam. And I would remind folks that hard hats at construction site came from the Hoover Dam when they were building it 80 years ago.
Okay.
I also worked at the Grand Coulee Dam in Washington State. And that's the largest dam in North America. So I'm what you consider a dam expert.
Well,
and from there, I worked at the Lewis and Clark Trail, interpreting the Lewis and Clark story. And from there, oh my goodness, a wonderful story about York, the only African-American man on the expedition. And I would tell the story about what happens when you take the institution of slavery out of the mindset of men. They go on this trail halfway across the United States and come back alive. York had a gun. He could swim. As you know, most African-American men are not considered good swimmers, but he did all of that. He cooked, he hunted. Oh, and he entertained a lot of the Native American people along the trail.
Okay.
So I remind folks about that story. And I got a kick out of telling that story on the 150th anniversary of the ending of the Civil War. So imagine me up on stage. I'm a biracial woman. I'm half Native American and half African American.
Okay.
So to tell stories like that, the audience just, they love it. And from there, I travel over to Connecticut. And from there, I worked at a national park here, and I just fell in love with Connecticut. The fall colors. You don't have this on the West Coast. Oh, those beautiful colors in the fall. Oh, I just fell in love with them. I say, nope, we're staking our ground here, our tent here, we're staying. So I've been here for the last 3 years. Love it.
Okay, so your childhood, what made you want to go into the Navy? What prompted that?
I'm sorry, one more time?
What prompted what in your childhood prompted you going into the Navy?
I'm sorry, you're going in and out.
I said, what prompted you to go into the Navy in your childhood?
I went into the Navy on a bet. They were trying to recruit my brother. I said, you don't want someone stupid like him. You want someone like me. And so they said, okay, come on, put your feet to it and do it. I said, okay. So I took the exam, and it took about a year. I went in because they had to do a background investigation. I was like a radio man working in intelligence.
Okay.
Spying on things, listening to things, all on the internet before it was the internet in America.
So now when you said you got a few degrees. How was that going into school here with all that you learned over there?
I had a hard time adjusting to school here because I went to San Francisco State. And San Francisco is not very friendly to the military, like over here on the East Coast. They was like, oh, you went over there and you killed people. I said, no, not really. I just did a lot of spying, but I didn't kill anybody. But yeah, so I had a hard time, but I majored in international relations because I knew how to bridge two cultures together. I knew that technique. I learned that skill set in the military.
Okay. And what did you degree?
International relations. I got my I got my associates at Laney College in Oakland. Hi, Laney. I got it in language studies. I got my bachelor's in international relations, and I have my master's in public administration.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you more in the DM.
Yes.
So,
but I also had a lot of when I was a kid. You know, when back in those days, like in 1970s, we didn't have a lot of channels from like we only had we didn't have cable. So we only had like 7 channels. I remember my dad would sit us in front and watch Soul Train. And we had to watch Shirley Temples and George Burns and Gracie. And I Love Lucy shows and the Jeffersons. Those were all amazing. And I really, really enjoy Marla Gibbs. She always come back with a comeback so quick. I was like, wow, I just love that. But to George Jefferson, I just love that. She was just so snappy. I like her. Yeah. That's what you call a clap back today.
Yeah. Now, question with that. You watched, I grew up on a lot of cultural television.
Yes.
As far as, I mean, Soul Train, Jefferson, like that. Now, you go to Japan, and you're trying to watch TV. What do you watch?
Oh, that was hard. That was extremely difficult. And my philosophy is you do what the Romans do. And so that's what I did. I ended up learning Japanese because there was not a lot of opportunities available for Americans there. So I ended up learning Japanese and started watching Japanese shows. And comedy is very much like Jerry Lewis style, kind of slapstick, Three Stooges, kind of funny like that. And so that's what I love to do. I mean, I've learned from them, and I learned Japanese. Oh, by the way, let me teach you one word in Japanese. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, you tell me the state's name. Cleveland, Cincinnati, what's the state's name?
Ohio.
Yes, that's how you say good morning in Japanese.
Okay.
Yay! Oh, wow.
So you know what I thought you were going with that? There was a guy on I forgot where I was seeing it, but he was with his, I think it was his mother.
Okay.
Whoever it was. So he says, how do you, it's 2 words. He says, how do you say this one? She goes, okay. He says, well, how do you say this one? He says, fuck you. She says, say it again. He goes, fuck you. He goes,
oh my word. Oh, that's a good one. I gotta use that one. Right now, I have a very successful YouTube channel. The channel name is Foodots. F-O-O-S and a period. Dots. Foodots. And I got started in it because of my entertainment background. I went back to Japan after college. I went back to Japan and had some children over there, and have 2 daughters, by the way, 2 beautiful daughters. They're college students. I can't wait to kick them out. I can't wait till Corona's over with. They're getting out of here. So from there, I went back and I took my daughters to on the base because I wanted them to be discovered by TV talent agencies. Because in my mind, they're cute.
Okay.
They didn't want my girls. They wanted me. They said, who is this woman with this big old afro speaking Japanese? Well, the rest is history. I've worked in television. I had a radio show. I've written a book in Japanese. Oh, I've done a lot. And I had to come back to the States because my dad had Alzheimer's. And, you know, being a daddy's girl, you kind of miss your dad. So eventually he passed away peacefully. I can't complain. He lived to be 93. I mean, come on. No, I can't. I know I'm not going to be there. I know I'm not going to be there. I'm going to try it. Heck, I'm going to put beauty lotion every day. Going to cover up all this gray hair, but I'm going to be okay. So from there, I went back and did a lot of work, and I met a manager named Rocky. He's a Japanese guy. He likes to call himself Rocky, the boxer. Yeah. So I thought that was cute. And so he ended up managed a lot of programs I did there on TV. I met a lot of Japanese people. They love American culture. They do. They love their music. They love their TV shows, all of that. So I did that, worked with him for a little while. He got me a lot of good TV gigs, and I came back to the States and raised my kids, worked in the park service, and I get an email from him saying he's starting up a show. And I thought, nah, I'm kind of done. I work for the government. I'm done with that. But then the email words kind of like blew up in my face. Okay. I said, this is a message. When that happens, you got to follow. It's like God sending you a signal. Yeah. Yeah. And you got to follow it. So I did. I said, okay, I'll answer his little silly questions. I did an audition, and now we've done 3 shows and have over 20,000 views altogether. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, in a matter of 2 months. It's being shown on YouTube. It's international, so it's in Japanese. I'm speaking Japanese and English subtitles about food culture in America and in Japan. Okay. Okay. So now I kind of went it a little bit because I used to work in Chinatown. The same food that we see in the Chinese restaurant ain't over there. Right. That's right. So yes, that's true. Yes, that is true. That is true. Your Japanese people live a lot longer than we do because they believe in proportion, size, color, the time that you eat, what kind of snacks do you eat. They've been trained since they were little. Okay. And we joked about this, but it's true that they eat this stuff in the morning called natto. Natto. And that's what our first show was based on, natto. I do not like natto. It's rotten beans. They eat rotten beans in a little cup every day. Then the rotten beans, the mold and everything, they call it fermented. To me, it's rotten because it stinks. It smells like farts. I cannot be in the same room when somebody eats that stuff. But overall, they eat very healthy. They eat a lot healthier than we Americans do. Well, that means it's not for me. Oh, you're funny. You gotta be in comedy. Oh, sorry. Oh gosh, yeah. So it's about 3 housewives sitting around talking about food culture. And I showed it to a group of kids, about young adults, about teenagers, preteen. Mm-hmm. They love the show. And so I've been attending workshops about how to market a TV program. And next week, I'll be sitting on a Zoom call with NBC, okay, based on this show. So we hope that good things will come out of this meeting.
Well, I appreciate So you think you'll be going into more producing now, or you want to just open things?
A hobby of mine is producing shows, but I get feedback from other people. They want me to be in front of the camera. I try to get behind the camera because I like the mechanics, the chaos of it all. Mm. But a lot of people want me in front, and I do my best. I do my darnest, because that's what the military, and that's how my daddy, with a 6th grade education, taught me. Whatever you do, whoop people's ass. Let them know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like myself. Behind the camera. I love that. I love that. But I can't see the front. So.
I know. Oh gosh. And when I was living in Las Vegas, I had a short stint, about 2 years of bartending. And I went to a Jerry Lewis telethon. I mean, Jerry Lewis is funny. And I was like the only one in the audience cracking up. And he came up to me and shook my hand.
You shook hands with Lewis?
Yes, he was. Yeah, I met Jerry Lewis, and I met Mike Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson, he's a little, he likes to use a lot of curse words. I don't know why. But he's a nice guy, but he's just a little too many F words for me, so. And when I shook his hand covered both of my hands. I was like, wow, that guy got some big hands. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Well. Yeah. With that.
Oh gosh. Oh.
On that note. Now I might be too in now.
That's right. Oh God. Well, in Las Vegas, you meet a lot of stars. It's common. They're just real good people. They help out the community. When you do a lot of charity work, you see a lot of them pop out here and there.
Okay. So hopefully we can get into some production with you down the line.
Yeah, I would like that. Yes, I would like that. And I just want to remind viewers out there that, you know, we all come from a place of humble beginnings. You know, we didn't grow up with a silver spoon, and being 5th out of 6 in a 3-bedroom house, that was hard, you know, but it was a lot of love in the house, a lot of fights, but a lot of love too. And I just kept pursuing. I just kept going. You know, some people are gonna knock you down. Oh, you're not gonna be on Japanese TV. Well, I did. And you're not gonna be successful in college, but I did. I did all those things. And just to remind people, just keep going, especially women of color. Native women, Asian women, especially brown and black women, Afro, Latino women, that you just keep pushing, and you will break down those walls. I've seen it with my own eyes, that you can do it if you just persist and meet the right people, and don't burn any bridges. Don't do that. Don't walk off the set. Don't do none of those things. And this video right here, this food channel has opened doors for me. Next week, I'm going to be in a BET Christmas movie
Okay.
because they saw my video. So it's how you put yourself out there to the world. If it's music, kick ass at it. If it's comedy, kick ass at it. And I just have just be humble and remember how you got started, why you're doing this. And Marla Gibbs from the Jeffersons, I saw her. Lucy Ball on I Love Lucy show. And all of those things. And Rita Rutner in Vegas. I saw my first comedy show, and it was by a woman. Okay. So wow, if she can do it, I can do it too. Yeah. And to see young people, a woman of color speaking a foreign language, that's amazing. That's beautiful.
Now, yes. You said how many you found?
I'm sorry?
You said how many you found? How many children do you have?
Oh, how many I got 2 daughters.
No, brothers and siblings.
Oh, okay. I'm 5 out of 6.
Oh, 5 out of 6.
I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. I recently lost my brother to COVID.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah, and this was back in February. I was like, SARS, COVID, what the heck is that? But now we know, now it was COVID-19. So he was a truck driver, and he was my fan, my #1 fan. He always said, because we used to bounce jokes off each other. Okay. And now I get to do that on a YouTube show with my the other housewives on there. So I just feel like my brother's with me all the time.
Yeah. Because growing up, I didn't know how many brothers and sisters were there, but it seems like there was split down the middle.
Yeah.
How did that come about in the house? Where did you fit in? Was you more on the girls? Was more on the boys? In the middle. You just like yourself.
I was a middle, and somebody told me one time that I'm like a butterfly, a chameleon. So I know when it's like it's boys' time. You know, you play rough, you play mean, dirty, and you hug each other at the end. And then when it's girls' time, we used to joke about each other's clothes and hair, but we still love each other. And that's, a lot of people can't say that now about families because, as you know, in Black families, we've been split up from slavery days. Mm. But to have my father with a 6th grade education to instill in us that no matter what, you still have each other.
Yeah. Well, we're going to close out the show. So just for those who are joining us, just introduce yourself. Do some closing.
Okay, I see I have RPT Entertainment. Hi! And Superstar Guta. Hi! My name is Sidoni Brown. And I'm the baddest girl in town, in Japan, and here. But overall, just please watch my YouTube show, our YouTube show, and support us. Like us, comment, because as you know, there's an algorithm with everything in life. There's always about data, and YouTube will give us some higher rankings if you support us. Make comments all the time. We're going to be putting out shows every 2 weeks we're going to be putting out a show. So just subscribe and give us some props. Once again, I'm a woman of color speaking Japanese and making Americans international laugh during these dark times right now.
Okay. So these now, say that in Japanese.
Oh, okay. Hi. Watashi wa Fukami Shidoni to moshimasu. Ka Shidoni Brown to moshimasu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. ですね、本日はご来店誠にありがとうございました。新しい番組、YouTube の番組、ぜひぜひ見てくださいませ。お願いします。一緒に頑張りましょう。3人の主婦ですよ。お願いします。お願いします。
Now, I'm gonna assume that's accurate. Because you are a damn expert.
Oh gosh! Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. We appreciate all the influence and culture you bring to our program.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Making my way through, busting my way through, burning my way through like a ball of fire. It's showcase and no case. It's astronomical, bringing you the phenomenal. The center stage, just a showcase with a K. Taking your talent to the world. It's time now for center stage. The spotlight's on you, so do what you do. This is showcase, and we ain't got time to waste. Turning dreams into reality. From rags to riches, I was down bad in the trenches. Had to get off the benches. Took a 40 and made it flip. I had to find me a way, but I needed a better band, so I took to the stage. Can't take that minimum wage and get locked in a cage. So I got my bars up, put the pen to the page. If I can, then you can. So put the pedal to the metal. But right now it's time to settle into the showcase. Showcase.